All right, first things first, your toolkit. A great developer needs a great dev environment. And for this exam, you've got to know the tools of the trade like the back of your hand. And really, at the heart of that whole toolkit is the Google Cloud command line interface, what we all call G Cloud. Think of it as your command line Swiss Army knife. It lets you talk to pretty much every part of Google Cloud, right from your terminal. Now, for the exam, there are a few G Cloud commands you just have to know. First up, deploying your app straight from your source code with one command, super powerful. Then you need to know how to securely grab credentials for your Kubernetes clusters so you can manage them. And finally, how to set up your local machine to authenticate so your code can talk to cloud services securely without you having to mess around with credential files. But, what about testing? You don't want to be running up a cloud bill or waiting on network latency just to see if a function works, right? And that's where service emulators are a lifesaver. They're basically local versions of cloud services that run right on your own machine. And you can emulate some of the most common services you'll use. We're talking PubSub for messaging, Firestore and Datastore for databases, even Cloud Spanner and Bigtable. You can test all this stuff locally, totally disconnected from the cloud. It makes your development cycles just incredibly fast and, free. And this quote just says it all. 15 times faster. Just think about that. Your CI pipeline, which could have taken minutes to run, is now finishing in under 10 seconds. This isn't just a small improvement, it totally changes how fast you can iterate and ship your code. Okay, so we've got your local setup down. Now let's switch gears and talk about developing in the cloud itself. Google gives you a few really powerful options, and for the exam, you need to know which tool is the right one for the job. So, which one do you pick? Well, if you love your local IDE like VS Code or JetBrains, you just install the Cloud Code extension. It brings Google Cloud right into your favorite editor. Now, if you're on someone else's machine or just need quick terminal access, Cloud Shell is your best friend. It's a whole dev environment right in your browser. And for teams, if you need everyone to have the exact same secure setup, Cloud Workstations gives you fully managed IDEs in the cloud. Now let's talk about AI. You're definitely going to see Gemini on the exam, but listen up, because there are two of them, and you can't get them mixed up. On one side, you have Gemini Code Assist. That's for you, the developer. It lives in your IDE and helps you write and test your application code. On the other side is Gemini Cloud Assist. That's for the operations folks. It lives in the Google Cloud Console and helps you manage your infrastructure. Developer versus operator. That is the difference you have to remember. And if you're wondering how much this really helps, well, get a load of this. A task that might have taken a developer 2 full days of just reading documentation for a service they're not familiar with, like Bigtable, is now done in a single afternoon. That's what happens when you have an AI assistant that gets both your code and the cloud APIs. All right, so you've written your code. Now we've got to build it into something secure and verifiable. And this is where we dive into the world of CI/CD and making sure our software supply chain is locked down. This right here, this is the dream. The classic, beautiful flow of a modern CI pipeline. A developer commits code that instantly and automatically kicks off a Cloud Build job. Cloud Build does its thing, creates the container image, and then pushes it into Artifact Registry, which is your private, secure home for all your software. It's totally hands-off. Now, while that build is happening, Cloud Build generates something called SLSA provenance. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a tamper-proof birth certificate for your software. It's a signed digital record that proves, hey, this exact image came from this specific code commit, and it was built using these precise steps. It's verifiable proof of where it came from. So why do we care about a birth certificate? Because of this guy, binary authorization. This is the security gatekeeper for your production environment. Think of it like the bouncer at a club. It has one simple rule. You can only deploy containers that have been officially verified and are on the approved list. Which, of course, leads to the big question. Okay, a bouncer checking a birth certificate, that's a nice analogy, but how does this actually protect you in a real-world scenario? And here it is. This is the payoff. Let's say a developer builds an image on their own laptop and tries to push it up. That image won't have the official, signed stamp of approval from your trusted Cloud Build pipeline. So when they try to deploy it, binary authorization checks for that signature, sees it's missing, and just flat out blocks the deployment. It's security automated. Okay, last but certainly not least, let's talk testing. In a modern CI/CD world, testing isn't something you just do at the end if you have time. No way. It's an automated quality gate that's built right into your build process. Just look at this flow. After Cloud Build creates the container, and this is critical, before it gets pushed to Artifact Registry, the pipeline automatically runs your tests. And here's the key. If even one of those tests fails, the whole process just stops. The broken image never even gets close to your registry. This is how you make sure only working code is even considered for deployment. So let's boil it all down for your exam prep. Here's what you really need to focus on. Get your hands dirty with Gemini Code Assist. Use it to generate unit tests. Make sure you use the Cloud Run emulator inside Cloud Code for local testing. And remember to structure your tests around emulators. It'll keep them fast, reliable, and totally isolated. So there you have it. We've gone through the whole life cycle, setting up your environment, building your code, securing it, and testing it. You literally have the blueprint for crushing Section 2 of the Professional Cloud Developer exam. So the only question left is, what are you going to go build first?